Hey guys, Dylan from Mining with Minge here. Today we are on our way to one of my favorite places, the Sooke Potholes in Sooke, British Columbia. We got our wetsuit, we got our snorkel. We're hoping to get some nuggets. Let's get it.
No way, guys, check this out.
All right, so we just made it down to the creek, guys. What we are going to do now is we are going to look for a nice crevice to start working. And the only problem is I've come to this stretch of the river so many times and I've worked a lot of this bedrock crack. So I'm gonna have to try to find a spot that I haven't touched yet, because that is where I think I'm gonna find really good gold, and super pumped, guys. So let's get finding.
So this first crevice that I found was completely loaded with this material, and this stuff that I've noticed in the past is loaded with gold, this really cloudy stuff. The only problem with it is you gotta move kind of slowly to get through it to find the gold, because if you move too fast, you seem to just blow the gold away. But persistence shows that it really works on this river, because I've given up before and it just takes a little time and boom, you get your first piece of gold. It's just a little one, but hey, it's better than nothing. Another guy popped up, a little bigger than the first one. Can't complain there. Hard to hold the camera straight and get the right shot when the lighting's flashing like that. Then I worked down to the bottom of this crevice, and it was kind of hard to reach down there because it was about 6 feet down. So I was trying to dive down to show you that piece of gold at the bottom, but just wasn't working. So I ended up finding a large boulder to hold in my left arm to get down to the bottom of that crevice. I sucked up that piece of gold, kept working the bottom end, ended up finding a nice piece. Ah! That is a sick piece of gold, guys. Sick. So I got that crevice all cleaned out and moved on to this next spot, which was more of a large alluvial boulder of bedrock. I thought it was bedrock until I realized one of the crevices wasn't solid, and all these little crevices on it had beautiful gold caught in. I wish the GoPro was able to pick up this gold a little better when it was super sunny, but we sucked up this last big chunky piece and moved on to the next crevice. Now this next spot that I was working had the bedrock kind of pinching to a point, and it was loaded with material that I noticed again was that super cloudy stuff that usually contains a bit of fine gold in it if you work it slow enough. If you work too fast, it just blows it out just like the gravel, because small gold, it is heavy, but it is also kind of light. And you guys know me, I don't like to leave any bit of gold behind, so I'd rather work it nice and slowly and find every single piece that I'm able to find. So here we've gotten to the bottom of the pocket, and right there is a lead pellet from a pellet gun, and right beside it is a piece of gold. And so that just kind of shows you guys that in these little pockets, the heavies are falling out together, and it's a good place to find gold.
I have been working the bedrock crevices that are in this section of the creek, or river I should say. I cleaned out that area, cleaned out this area. It kind of looks like there's still stuff in there because I worked areas above it and washed it down into there. And I'm working this crevice here, and I've gotten about halfway up it, and I haven't been doing as good as I really thought I was going to be doing. So I'm going to finish clearing the top half of that crevice, see if there's anything under there, and if not, we're going to head downriver a bit further, see if we can find us another spot that's loaded with the bedrock, because I know there's some crazy gold here, and we're going to locate it, guys. It's just going to take some time.
So now we're kind of working the back side of the crevice from where that pocket is. My camera's kind of sitting in that pocket because it is a beautiful crevice here, guys. The bedrock in this river is kind of smooth, so you want to find the deep crevices that are going to trap and hold that gold. The only problem with the deep crevices is they're deep in the water, and it's really hard to wave the bottom of it, so you got to use everything you can, from your scraper to your hands to even your feet. But one thing I've learned about sniping is even with a beautiful crevice, sometimes there can be no gold in it.
We are definitely now gonna head downriver a bit, because I think I've sniped every single crevice in this area and there's not much gold left, so let's head downriver. Got a wetsuit on, heading back down to the river. And I came down here earlier before I got all suited up and checked it out, and the river is completely replenished. All of the crevices that I worked last season when I was here are all reloaded again. As you can see, super awesome. So, we're gonna get our maps on and jump back in the river.
So this next crevice that I located was super narrow but really deep, and it was kind of compact with this decomposed calcite stuff. It was kind of like a clayish, white clayish material, but it was loaded with gold. You guys can see there, it's super deep, but right there, right at the very bottom is that piece of gold. It was really hard to get with the snuffer bottle, so I ended up using my sniping bulb that I use in really deep crevices. And as I was blowing out the last bit of material from this crevice, I noticed a little flake had blown out to the side, and that's why when you're sniping, you want to wave that material fairly slowly. So this crevice here I ended up moving off to, had some deep little pockets in it that were loaded. There were 3 or 4 pieces up in that top section. Sorry for the filming, I should have got a better shot of them. But when you're working a crevice that's got gold in it, it's hard to focus on anything other than getting that gold sucked up into the snuffer bottle. Especially when it's completely stuck in there and does not want to get sucked up, but we managed to get it in there. And for the top ones, you know they had to go in the exact same place. So I moved on to this next spot that was quite deep, but it had a nice handhold down there that I was able to pull my body down to the bottom. Sorry for wafting all the material at you guys and blocking the view a bit there, but this crevice had a lot of nice gold in it. As you can see right here, beautiful flakes sitting on top. And this is that material I said you got to work really slowly, but I worked it all the way down and ended up finding this little tiny weird looking fishy friend.
Alright, so I'm working this massive crevice under here. I'll show you guys in about 2 seconds. But I've been pulling some crazy gold out of here. Nothing really big, but tons of medium and small flakes, guys. But I'm still working this for a little bit. But I'm going to show you what it looks like here.
And right here we managed to get our second picker of the day. Beauty.
Alright guys, that's about it for this adventure. We're absolutely pooped. We killed it on this trip, guys. Absolutely love the Sooke River. It's such a beautiful place and the gold is absolutely amazing. But what we're gonna do is we're gonna take you guys home because we gotta go and catch a ferry to get back home. But we're gonna take you guys home, get this gold cleaned up and show you what it looks like. So, see you at home. So we're home now, guys. We've got the gold all dried, all cleaned up. Now let's go see what it weighs.
Here is the gold that we managed to snipe out of the Sooke Potholes. Absolutely beautiful looking gold, super chunky. And I absolutely love this one picker here. It looks exactly like a mallard duckhead. I think that guy is super sweet. Beautiful looking stuff. But what we're gonna do here, let's get the scale turned on, get it all teared out, and see what this stuff weighs. Like always, cover my screen, build the suspense to see what the weight is. We had an absolute blast out there at the Sooke Potholes. It's one of my favorite places to be. Not only because the gold is absolutely amazing, but the scenery and the people there are amazing. I can't think of another word for it. We got 1.432 grams, guys. Almost 1.5 grams. I am not going to complain about that at all. Sweet.
Well guys, that's a wrap for this adventure. We had an absolute blast out there at the Sooke Potholes as always. We got some awesome gold, we made some awesome memories and had a blast. If you guys enjoyed that video, please leave me a thumbs up, leave me a comment if you'd like to, and subscribe to my channel. I have a lot of awesome adventures coming up in the near future. Till the next one.